y'all, how's it going? We're gonna do planning for 2021 today. I'm gonna attempt to bullet journal this year. I stopped midway through 2020 because of the pandemic, so Happy New Year, by the way. It's already going great. There was an attempted coup, so I would say 2021 so far is looking up. But yeah, the only thing that anybody can really focus on right now is like emotional internal growth. So that's kind of reflected in my 2021 goals. But yeah, let me show you what I wrote down. Let's get into it. Okay, so I take a lot of pleasure in doing these like bullet journal style things. It's a lot of fun to pick a color scheme and kind of nail down some nebulous goals that I have. I've sort of broken this down into like a mind map style design where I have a goal and then I break it down into its sort of constituent parts. Steps that I think I need to take to achieve that goal. So the first one is to establish a stable source of income. This is definitely my primary stressor right now, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people. A lot of people have been laid off. A lot of people are having trouble making money right now, and I'm among those people. So yeah, I have to achieve that goal, to apply for teaching artist positions and adjunct pools, to work on my shop daily and list new items regularly, and to apply for grants, and then look into nonprofit work. So I don't know how sustainable making money off of my shop is going to be. Plus, I miss teaching and I miss having a creative community that I'm a part of. So I have been working on some teaching artist applications and, talking to some of my professors from my undergraduate, because I am back in Alabama where I got my undergraduate degree. So I've been trying to, rekindle some connections that I used to have, and it's been going great so far. I'm confronting my fear of talking to people and asking them for help, and it's ended up being good. So that's working out so far. All right, the next goal is to divest from fear, which is, more of an emotional goal. I do put a lot of weight in my own fear, and I give it too much credence, like too much power over me. So that's something I definitely want to work on. One of the steps that I have recommended is to do yoga, to exercise, to journal often, step out of my comfort zone, and branching off of that, I have make new connections and ask for help. So like I mentioned before, I'm already stepping out of my comfort zone, trying to rekindle some old connections and make new ones, asking people for help, so I'm proud of that. The do yoga and exercise is more for coming up with physical tactics to overcome some of my fear and anxiety, so that it's not all mental work, but some physical work as well, because anxiety is not only mental but physical in the way that it affects everybody. And then to journal often, so that's trying to think through why I'm scared of certain things, and if it's worth being scared of those things. I think it's important to ask those questions. The next sort of mind map goal that I have here is to expand and extend my audience. And to reach that goal, I theorized I'd need to promote my social media, so get more followers on Instagram and, YouTube or whatever. Seek out shows in new cities. I've mostly just shown regionally, whether I was in Alabama or in New York. So I do want to get my work more out there and build larger communities. To apply for juried shows, which, branches off of seeking out new shows. Juried shows are really nice because you can, if you are chosen for like first, second, or third prize, you can win money, which kind of ties into me establishing a source of income. But also the jurors that work these shows are typically artists that are further along in their career or curators, and your work has the potential to connect with those professionals, and you could, establish a relationship with them. So apply for juried shows and then also apply for open calls. So I'm trying to find galleries in different cities that I feel like my work fits into. That's definitely the most important part. When you're an artist seeking a gallery to show your work at, you have to really inspect their previous shows and see if they're showing work that's similar to yours. Because if they aren't, then you probably are not going to get a show with them, because galleries, like artists, have specific concepts that they're working with, and they don't often like to divert from that. Sorry, my dog is barking in the background. You're just gonna have to ignore it. Okay. Next in my 2021 goals is to quit smoking. I need to really commit to this as a mode of thinking, because I'm just doing it automatically. Obviously, it's a bad habit that I've formed. So my strategy to do that is to decrease my intake. I don't chain smoke or anything. I do max 5 or 6 cigarettes a day. But I think first I need to start cutting back on that number, and then find some kind of replacement for smoking. So something else to help me quit smoking is to remember how it can negatively impact my health, because I don't actively think about that. I just kind of do it automatically, and then to use that negative impact as a motivator. I want to live a long life, and I want to, be healthy and happy, and smoking is a coping mechanism that prevents me from doing that. So, next up, I want to invest in my emotional growth, which kind of ties into the previous goal to divest from fear. In order to do that, I need to confront my fear of confrontation. So I'm not good at expressing to people when they've done something that's hurt me, or I'm not good at being in disagreements with people and expressing my own interests and desires. So I want to work on that. I want to unlearn some damaging behaviors. So smoking is one of those. I also tend to eat shitty food when I'm depressed, and that makes me feel worse. I'm considering totally stopping drinking. I really only do it socially, maybe once a week, but it definitely negatively affects my mental health whenever I do it. So that's something I'm considering. I just want to kind of detach myself from things that I know are harming me, so I can become a better, more fully fledged, developed person. And then the last step in that is to strengthen my communication and strengthen my relationships. I have a problem asking people for help. I have a problem expressing to people that I need them. I have a problem expressing that I value my relationships to the other person in the relationship. I just think it's a given that they know that I feel that way, but I need to be more open with people and more vulnerable. So it's another thing I want to work on. So that's my general 2021 goals. And then on the next page, I sort of broke down new habits that might feed into these goals. But these are habits that I can institute daily and weekly. So it'll make me more able to quickly plan my weeks through bullet journaling and know that I'm working toward these larger goals that I set for the year. So we'll start with daily. I want to start my day with yoga and with my stationary bike. I have done that a couple of times this year. I'm still working on it. The next goal is no TV until 9 p.m. We've been doing pretty good on that. I mean, I watch one YouTube video when I eat my lunch in the afternoon, but other than that, like in the morning, I've been playing Animal Crossing, and then sometimes I'll read after that or clean. Animal Crossing actually really helps me with my bullet journaling because when I turn the game off, I sort of transition from the task completion mode that I'm in the game to task completion mode in real life. So it's kind of helped with some of my, problems with not being able to think about goals concretely. Yeah, it's been really helpful. I love Animal Crossing so much. Okay, next daily goal is to use time more efficiently, do hour-to-hour schedule. I haven't been doing this. I think that I have this idea that I need to do that, and upon further thought, I am not convinced that that's the most productive way for me to work. Because of my ADHD, I think I get started on a task and I want to see it to its end, and I don't know if that's something that I need to fight because it does help me to be productive. I just happen to do the same thing all day. I spend one day working on a YouTube video, spend one day drawing, and that seems to work fine for me. Next goal is to not spend all day on one task, so that just goes back to the previous thing I said. Next, I want to wake up early and go to sleep early. I've been kind of getting better at that. I have to set my alarm to get up. I've been getting up at 8. I'd like to get up at 7, but we usually don't go to bed until 12:30 or 1, so I want to work on going to bed earlier for sure. I want to do 6 or 8 hours studio time. Typically I do 4 hours. I also want to upload to my shop daily. And then this next goal is connected to these sort of mental health goals that I, was showing you guys before. I want to, if I'm feeling anxious or uncomfortable, physically, I want to get in the habit of taking breaks, stretching, doing some breathing exercises, if I'm frustrated, talking to Andy or writing in my journal, just so I don't get super focused on a task and ignore my own needs. The next one is, a quit smoking strategy. If I want a cigarette, to go outside without one and just chill. I don't know if that will be helpful. I haven't done it yet, so the next goal is to read at least a half an hour a day, which I've been doing pretty well with. I think I mentioned in my 2020 video that I did start reading more last year. Obviously the pandemic made that really easy, but now I'm getting more into reading fiction and not just theory. So I'd like to keep that going. I increased my reading goal from 12 books to 16 books, so we'll see how that goes. And then another daily goal is to not spend so much time on my phone. To divorce it from my morning routine, not scroll while watching TV, and to be present generally. I watched The Social Dilemma with Andy the other night, and I hate to be that person that's oh, this documentary changed me. But it messed me up. Their primary function is to keep you on these apps, wasting your time essentially. And that's something that I can't afford to do right now, is waste my time. So I'm trying to be a little bit more strategic with my phone. Let's see. And then the last daily routine is to establish a night routine and start early. That's it for the daily. Next up, there's the weekly goals. My first weekly goal is to seek out open calls and job postings, assess deadlines. So I think for me it's better that I every week take a couple of hours to go through these websites that kind of aggregate open calls and bookmark what interests me to look at later. And then as the deadlines are approaching, I look deeper into the open calls and see if it suits me. And then I've got to go to the post office on a set day if I'm selling things. Next up is to find galleries that I vibe with and contact them, which I have started doing. Some galleries have open calls, some galleries will accept submissions via email, and some will become very angry if you do that. So it's important to check like their about page or their contact page to see if it says anything about like where you would direct inquiries, where artists would contact them. Usually if they don't say anything about it, I just like don't even attempt it, because unsolicited submissions can really rub gallerists the wrong way. So it's good to avoid that like negative engagement. Let's see, weekly document work to sell. So this is basically to take a block of time out where I'm taking whatever I made that week and setting up my lights and photographing all of it and then editing it. Release a video. So I've been doing videos every 2 weeks. I'd like to do them once a week. Honestly, it takes a lot of time to edit, record, all of that, and my channel isn't monetized at all, so right now it's hard for me to justify contributing that much time, but I do want to work toward doing weekly videos. Talk to friends, yes. Leave the house, yes. Scour LinkedIn just to like look for jobs or make connections with people, because I never go on LinkedIn. I kind of hate it. Let's see, research a new artist. This can help keep my gears turning. So this could be looking through a monograph, finding an artist's website and reading their artist statement and their CV and all of that. Maybe finding them through different galleries that I've been researching and just like seeing what's out there, because it can be really helpful to contextualize yourself that way. Clean the house, dust more, vacuum more. Let's see, make a social media post. I need to definitely post on Instagram more regularly. I kind of avoid it because of a lot of the negative feelings I get from it. So that's why I've kind of separately come up with the strategy to delete it from my phone so I'm not doom scrolling. At the beginning of each week, plan in here and reflect on my goals. I've been pretty good about doing that so far. It's been helpful. If I'm not actively thinking about what I want to get done, then I don't do anything productive. I'm just kind of like going through the motions. So it's been helpful to get back to bullet journaling and really think about what steps I need to take. And then lastly, we have do something nice for yourself. Usually for me, that's like making cookies or having a bath, anything that makes me feel good and like doesn't have anything to do with making money. And I mean, that's all of my habits that I want to institute in my 2021 goals. I've been doing pretty good planning so far. I can show you guys in a future video. If you're interested, let me know. I can show you guys my actual bullet journal layout and how I tend to do stuff. I'm personally satisfied by checking off tasks, and that's really helpful for me when I'm like struggling with getting things done. Anyway, like I said earlier in the video, really the only thing that anybody can do right now is plan for emotional growth, which I think is kind of reflected in my 2021 goals. I want to improve myself a lot and kind of deal with some of my trauma and how it manifests in my personal interactions and my engagement with the world. And yeah, I want to confront some fears and evolve into a new and better person. I think 2021 could be equally as bad as 2020, but we'll see how that goes. Let me know what your goals are for 2021 if you have any. And if you're just trying to survive, that's okay too. It's rough out there, and I'm really proud of you for sticking with it. And, you know, I like to pretend that 2021 is a fresh start, but we all know that it's not going to just go away like that. So, I'll see you guys next time. I really appreciate you watching. Yeah. Bye.